morning. Wake up the members of my nation.
We have a great show for you planned for today. We're going to be talking a lot about Russia, which is not the best news, but it's news. So, without further ado, JT, newscast.
Yes. Well, it will be my pleasure. In national news, as the Canadian truckers look to DC to further protest vaccine mandates, the Pentagon approves deployment of the National Guard. This includes 400 members of DC National Guard and nearly 300 other Guard members from New Jersey, Vermont, and West Virginia, who will arrive no later than February 26th. In state news, a Clinton Township school bus carrying 17 kids turned over on its side after crashing into a boulder yesterday. According to CTPD, 2 students and the driver were taken to a hospital for evaluation. And in local news, campus news, the School of Music and Department of Theater and Dance present Head Over Heels. Head Over Heels is a musical comedy love story set to the music of the iconic 1980s all-female rock band The Go-Go's, of whose act features their hit songs We Got the Beat, A Lips Are Sealed, Vacation, and Belinda Carlisle's Heaven is a Place on Earth, and Mad About You. And in weather today, we have partly cloudy skies with a high of 35 and a low of 29. So it's brick. The humidity level is 39%, and there's an AQI of 45, so the air quality is great. I am JT Bethea, and that has been your newscast. R.I.P. Kelly.
Alex,
Yeah,
is it a tough day to be a New Yorker?
we'll have to find out because it is sports
Thank you for letting me know.
in baseball. Haven't had baseball news in a while, but in baseball, the MLB informed the union that it viewed February 28th as the deadline for an agreement that it would impact the regular season of the MLB utterly instituted the lockout, and it could lift at any time, but there's no chance that it'll do so as the seed negotiating leverage at the union at this moment. And in hockey, the Colorado Avalanche beat the Detroit Red Wings 5-2 last night. And tonight, the New Jersey Devils are going against the Pittsburgh Penguins. And we have a rivalry match between the Washington Capitals and the New York Rangers. Both games will start at 7. And in basketball, last week, it was the All-Star weekend where Team LeBron beat Team Durant 160 to 163. Hopefully, it'll be a good day to be a New Yorker tonight when the Brooklyn Nets will be facing off against the Boston Celtics at 7:30. And in the Olympic news, we've seen crazy sports with like luge, sledding. No, that's not a sport. Sledding's not a sport.
Bobsledding is a sport.
Bobsledding, but not like tobogganing.
Tobogganing.
Curling's a sport.
Curling is a sport.
But you know who's the best at curling? USA
Okay.
has moved down sadly to fourth spot. But they have a total of 8 gold medals, 10 silver, and 7 bronze. Come on, we can move up. It's almost over, but I believe in us. And in Montclair sports, the Montclair's men's basketball team won last night, 71-66 in the NJAC quarterfinals against the 5th seed William Patterson. So they were going to go on to the semifinals to versus Stockton tonight. I can't wait. But sadly, I can't say the same for the women's basketball team, who came up just short against New Jersey City University, 68-67. So we got some good news, we got some bad news, but I believe that Montclair could take it all this year. I've been Alex, and it's been sports.
So today we're going to be talking about what other than, unfortunately, Russia and Ukraine. So our first story is literally just about the whole situation in general. Then we're going to be moving on to, I guess you'll have to wait and find out. So Ukraine's government said it faced a full-scale attack from multiple directions. Ukraine's ambassador at the United Nations has told the Security Council that the Russian President Vladimir Putin has declared war on Ukraine. He also pressed his Russian counterpart to the state that Russia will not shell a bomb in Ukrainian cities. Putin declared the start of a special military operation in Ukraine, pledging he would seek to I'm sorry, words are tough in the morning. Okay. Pledging he would seek to militarize. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
So as a child, I didn't read out loud, and it's affecting me in my adult life. Anyway.
Hey, no apologies. There you
I'm
go.
apologizing. Pledging he would
Militarized.
militarize, thank you, but not occupy the country. And he addressed this to the nation in a televised speech. Mr. Putin said the operation would aim for the demilitarization of Ukraine as of 11:07 p.m. last night. The Ukrainian Interior Ministry says Russian troopers have landed in Odessa and are crossing the border in
Kharkov.
Kharkov. Thank you. Ukraine's foreign minister, I'm sorry.
Dmytro Kuleba.
I love my team saying words for me. Dmytro Kuleba said on Twitter that Vladimir Putin has started a full-scale war against Ukraine and has begun shelling civilian cities. He wrote, "This is a war of aggression. Ukraine will defend itself and win. The world must act and stop Putin. It is time to act immediately." End quote. The Ukrainian ambassador
Sergey
Kalistya. Sergei Kalistya said, quote, "You declare war and it is the responsibility of this body to stop the war. I call on every one of you to do everything possible to stop the war. Or should I have play the video of your president declaring war?" A Russian ambassador replied, quote, "This is not called a war. It is called a special military operation in Donbass."
Yeah, okay.
Where do I start to unpack?
Well, let's start with the Russian ambassador and let's call this what it is. It's an invasion.
It is.
It's an invasion
Yes.
at the end of the day. Like, this is not
special military
military operation. Like,
That's literally just code word for
we're invading.
yes. Like,
no, guys, we have to be respectful. It's a special military. I can't even say it.
Special military operation. No, it's an invasion at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it is.
it's
you know-
cut and dry.
Imagine, hypothetically speaking, right? Imagine if Canada just crossed the border into the United States and said, "Oh, we're gonna start backing rebels in your territories that don't agree with the national regime, and we're gonna call it a special military operation."
Yeah.
No, that's an invasion.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, so I was just sitting with my friends last night,
Mhm.
and then I'm just having a good time. Look down at my phone. I just go on Snapchat, see if anybody's like talking, and I just click on somebody's story, and I just go, no.
Yeah.
Like, and it's been weeks leading up to it. I think I've been denying it, but it's just been weeks building to this. Like, I was like, they're never gonna invade. It's not gonna happen. And then I was shocked,
Yeah.
but I shouldn't have been shocked. And I feel like that's how everybody's feeling right now.
It's exactly that. We've been covering this on the Buzz for weeks. It's oh my gosh, is Russia gonna do it? Like I remember sitting in this seat, looking at well, you weren't here, unfortunately. But I remember looking at you, Alex, and I went, they're not gonna do anything. But that is not the case, unfortunately.
Sadly, it's not.
It's just sad. And I hope Ukraine is I hope the whole world is gonna be
Yeah.
okay.
Well, there's serious talks of not. Obviously, I'm feeling for the people of Ukraine right now.
Me too.
But you also got to watch too, because there's been reports that China's had their eye on Taiwan and they've been waiting for Russia to make the first move on Ukraine to kind of divert attention. And I don't know. I just don't want to end up in the world going into one of those situations where, multiple
W3?
nations
Question mark?
at war. Like, it's scary. It's a scary time.
It is. It's just an unfortunate time that we're in. And I wonder how America is going to be going forward. So JT, would you like to tell us how that's going to happen?
Yeah, the first time it's not a January 6th article, it's a Ukraine article.
It is.
There's little support amongst Americans for a major U.S. role in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Even as President Joe Biden imposes new sanctions and threatens a stronger response that could possibly provoke retaliation from Moscow, Biden has acknowledged that there's a growing likelihood that in Eastern Europe, it might slightly affect Americans. He really has ruled out sending troops to Ukraine with all the stuff that's going on in America, like gas prices could really affect it in the short term. Where the president, Vladimir Putin, has a range of tools that he can use against the U.S., including cyber attacks hitting critical infrastructure and industries. Biden says, quote, defending freedom will have costs for us all, as well here at home. We need to be honest about that. According to a new poll from the Associated Press NORC Center for Public Affairs Research, just 26% of Americans polled says that the U.S. should have a major role in the conflict. 52% say a minor role. 20% say none at all. The findings are a reminder for Biden and fellow Democrats that while Ukraine crisis may consume Washington in the coming months, issues are likely to be a bigger priority for voters heading into midterm elections. Senior U.S. defense official in Washington says that Russian forces arrayed along Ukraine's borders are, quote, as ready as they can be, end quote, for an invasion if ordered to launch it. U.S. authorities have estimated that Russia has more than 150,000 troops along Ukraine's borders with Russia and Belarus. 80% of those forces are now in what the official said, quote, what we could consider forward positions ready to go. Adding that they are within 3 to 31 miles of the border. That is a big jump. The official spoke on the condition of anonymity due to the sensitivity of the information. It is early for all this. It was early. I believe I was busy when everything started popping off, and I rolled back in my dorm building at 1 a.m. in the morning, and I saw all this, and I'm just like, well,
It's just, I remember I was writing the script for today's show, and I wanted to do like how we have it today. We have what's going on in general, what's going on in the US, and then after our break, you're going to find out what's going on in Russia and Ukraine and just the other end of the world. And there's just so much to unpack, and there's so much to wrap your head around it, and I didn't even know where to start.
Real quick.
Yeah.
JT, did you just call Belarus Belarus?
I would have said the same thing, honestly.
I love you, bro, but come on.
Belarus.
How do you say it?
Belarus.
Belarus. I would have said Belarus.
I'm reading a. I am so sorry to our listeners. I'm reading a script. I have not heard Belarus enough. It really does look like Belarus. I'm sorry. You have every right to call America America. As Drake Bell.
America.
That was actually really funny.
America. It says America.
That
That was a good Drake and Josh reference for anybody out there.
There's a South America.
man of culture. But again, a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
A lot. I don't know where to start. A lot. What is America going to do? What is our president going to do? What are we going to do?
What do you guys
It's out of
think we
our
should
hands,
do?
but still, it's just
Seriously.
what are our national leaders going to do with this?
What do you think he should do? I'm curious.
Oh geez, I don't even know what I would.
I think
That's rough.
my belief is we don't need. I think it's not our fight, like
Mhm.
grounds wise, like people, like battles, like, so we should be sending aid to Ukraine.
Mhm.
They're not officially part of NATO.
No, but
No.
still.
So
But they want to be, don't they?
yeah, they wanted to be.
Mhm.
That's, I think, half of the reason why Russia invaded.
Yeah.
This whole conflict started was Ukraine was going to join NATO, I think.
Mhm.
So I think we should be sending aid, supplies, ammunition, weapons.
They need help.
They need help. They need our help. But I don't think we should be sending our own troops in there.
I honestly agree with you on that. This whole situation is reminding me of how World War I started,
Yes.
where it's literally like a domino effect. It's like, oh, you mess with, I forgot who it was, but
Archduke Francis Ferdinand was
Thank
shot
you.
by a Serbian
yes, was it
assassin.
Austria?
Serbian
Serbian? I'm
History
so sorry.
teachers love you.
It was in
didn't they?
Austria, though.
history major. Pays off.
Smart.
Ooh.
It's been a while since I studied some history,
Oh,
but
man.
that's
When was
literally
the
what
last
happened. It's like,
history
oh,
class
you
I
mess
took?
with
Junior
whoever.
It's a
Archduke
domino
Francis
effect.
Ferdinand.
you
Yeah.
mess, yes, you mess with me, and then it just keeps going
You mess
down
with
the
my boy, I
allies.
mess with yours. Let's go. And it's
Yeah.
just like, but like we are grown men and women running
people.
countries and people, and like our citizens are taking the blast for it. So like, I don't know. I agree with Alex a lot. I do think that we have the resources to help them out a lot.
Mhm.
But I don't know, to avoid WW3.
Why'd you make that sound like a wrestling pay-per-view?
WW3
That was
this Sunday.
funny.
Only 9.
Because honestly, with
1995.
SEC, I'm not even sure if I could say war. But yeah, just with all of that, plus America has its own problems.
Yeah, but at the same time, like we also have to be wary because the last time that we waited as a world power, it is kind of our duty to an extent. Obviously, should we be getting involved right now? That's not my call. But at some point we might have to, because there was a certain dictator back during World War II that if we didn't get involved when we did, we don't know where that would have went,
Exactly.
So at some point we might have to. I'm hoping it gets resolved
Are we talking
before
about
we
Charlie
get to
Chaplin?
those conversations.
Me too. And I think it's a waiting game at this
For
point.
sure.
And all we could do is basically what Alex said, being a helping hand. But that's not our call. We're only college students.
Yeah, we could be completely wrong. Like somebody could be watching this who actually is certified and be like, 4 morons right now.
Mhm.
They have no clue what they're talking about. We have a
would
whole
hope so.
strategy, but
Well, if you're
But again,
watching
if that's the
this
case,
and you just
you can
us
call in and
morons,
debate us right now. So
Not
if you
necessarily.
like
Not a
to
call.
call
Not a
us
call to
morons,
action.
Not a call.
not a call to action, not at all.
Nah, just.
And I'm not telling you what to do. Do what you want.
But yeah.
This is America.
and I'm not
it's a
telling
free
you to call us
country.
morons.
Okay, it's getting chaotic. It's time to go to a break.
My bad.
No, it wasn't your fault. I'm just making fun of you.
Never mind. Let's jump into the story.
Failure
Before...
is just success you
Yeah,
haven't
let's-
understood yet.
I'm gonna jump into what's going on in Russia and Ukraine, just so we can get down to business. So, Vladimir Putin has announced a military operation in eastern Ukraine, claiming its intent is to protect civilians. On Thursday, Putin says the actions come to response that threats coming from Ukraine. He adds that Russia doesn't have a global occupy. My words are hard in the morning. He adds that Russia doesn't have to have a global goal to occupy Ukraine. Putin says the responsibility for bloodshed lies with the Ukrainian regime. I was way off. Hey guys, this is.
Sorry.
I'm gonna start calling the Thursday morning buzz grammar class.
Sorry.
No.
Did you have
Oh.
your coffee this morning?
Yes.
Grammar class made me cry.
Recommend.
That's a rough one.
Back to the story. Putin also is warning other countries that any attempt to interfere with Russian action will lead to consequences they have never seen. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres is telling Putin not to send Russian troops against Ukraine and to give peace a chance. He was convinced that the invasion wouldn't happen. The Secretary General said, quote, I was wrong. I like not to be wrong again. So if indeed an operation is being prepared, I have only one thing to say from the bottom of my heart. Stop your troops from attacking Ukraine. Give peace a chance. Too many people have already died. End quote. And explosions were heard in the eastern Ukrainian city of Donetsk. Thank you. A 30-day state emergency was initiated in Ukraine. This restricts freedom of movement of conscripted.
Yep.
Yes! It curbs the media and just basically imposing any personal document checks, and that begins next Thursday. There's a lot to unpack here. Once again, there's a lot of,
Did we just get G-checked by the president of Russia?
I don't even know, but at the end of the day, like he said, this is a response as Ukrainian aggression.
from what? Where?
Listen, speaking from personal experience, obviously I've been following this story for weeks. Unless we're just not showing something on our news stations, which is possible. I've only seen that Ukraine said, "Hey, we don't want to go to war, but we will defend ourselves if we have to."
Where's the receipts? Like, did this
Yeah.
really happen? Where's the receipts?
even
And
talking
then
want the
I heard
receipts.
that the Ukrainian president tried reaching out to Putin to no avail. So
Who hasn't tried
I don't
to
know
reach out
what
to
is
Putin?
happening right now.
Putin's inbox is just full of people saying, "Hey, buddy, stop!" Kind of like Kanye West's Instagram right now,
It's
but
like,
that is
you're-
not the
Did
topic
you
at
just
hand.
compare Putin to Kanye?
I mean, no,
You're
not the time. That's
Not the
second
time,
hour
That's
stuff.
second hour stuff.
It's okay. It's okay. We need to be a little bit lighthearted because this is really
Yeah.
heavy.
You know,
Go ahead.
before the break, you explained how it's kind of like World War One,
Yes.
and it's just crazy. That was over 100 years ago,
And here we are.
and
again.
here we are,
100 years.
100 years since World War One. We're in the middle. 100 years ago, there was a pandemic,
Yep.
the Spanish flu, and then World War One.
Yeah.
History repeats itself.
It's yeah. I guess people didn't learn.
I'm
People did
looking-
not learn enough about what not to do. We didn't. It's very sad that we didn't progress as a society to understand that to let these people control like everything about us.
I found a timeline for World War One.
Oh.
On June 28th, 1914,
14.
Francis Ferdinand was
Archduke Francis.
the Archduke. I'm so sorry. The Archduke. I'm so sorry, Mr. Archduke. Archduke Francis Ferdinand was assassinated, and 1 month later, on July 28th, 1914, Austria-Hungary declares war on Serbia, which starts World War One.
Yes.
So this is what I've kind of noticed is that there's people saying, oh, this is the war on Russia and Ukraine, and then other people are saying, oh no, this is just what was it? I'm going back to the quote, a special military operation. So like,
Ooh.
what is it?
It's a special military operation war on Ukraine, Russia.
Yeah, no, it's literally so basically we don't have an assassination of a high political figure like Franz Ferdinand, Archduke
Duke
Franz
Franz
Ferdinand. But what we do have is there's some separatists, what would you call them? Militant groups, I guess,
Yeah.
within Ukraine that are trying to separate from Ukraine because they want to be aligned, I believe, with Russia.
Yeah.
And Putin openly like called those territory, like he backed them, saying that, oh, these people are trying to go for freedom. Now, whether or not there's actually people there, whether they're just his people or what have you, there could be legitimate separatists. I'm not sure. I'm not from that area, nor am I a national journalist, but for whatever reason, he recognized those states and is basically using that as, oh, we need to aid our fellow Russians in Ukraine. So we're going to go occupy the territory and then potentially take over the country.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, that's basically what happened. At least from everything that I've seen.
Bloody
That's-
daddy, what are you doing, bro?
You didn't.
Hey,
Hey.
yo.
Yes,
I'm playing a sound
I
effect.
did. And
I'm
I am
playing
not
sound
ashamed of it. I am very proud.
You see, JT? I've been thinking it this entire time.
I know you.
But the difference between me and you is that I won't say it.
JT, that is second hour comments.
Well, back to
JT's going in timeout. I'm turning his mic off.
Of course you are.
well,
She's put JT in the penalty box.
nobody puts JT in the corner.
Nobody puts
Whistle,
JT in
whistle,
the-
flag on the play, flag on the play. With that being said, let's go
Hey.
to JT.
JT.
Yay. Once
Florida.
again, Florida. Florida residents will be amongst the first in this nation subjugated to hard Mountain Dew.
Please expand.
Okay. In fitting fashion, Florida will be one of the first to taste alcoholic Mountain Dew. We do not need this. Anyway, parent company PepsiCo announced that hard Mountain Dew is now available in Florida, Tennessee, and Iowa. What is in Iowa? The new 100 calorie spiked seltzer contains 5% alcohol by volume and comes in 4 different flavors. The drink will be distributed to more states in the coming months by Blue Cloud Distribution, which is a company created for the sole purpose of distributing this drink. So we have Mountain Dew Truly.
Yay.
Yeah, but it makes sense though, because Mountain Dew was actually created to be like a whiskey mixer.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't
Yeah, you
know
can look
that.
it up. That's a fact.
Interesting.
I love how you know that, Maz.
Yeah. We
Interesting.
don't need to go down that route.
Nah, let's save that one.
I am 24, so
I am 18, so I will not be partaking in this beverage.
I will
But
probably
it
have to
sounds
try it
good.
out at some point, but responsibly, of course.
Responsible. Hopefully in 18, 19, 20.
Eh,
In 3 years, I will be able to try it.
Good job,
responsible.
Alex. You can do math.
I can't.
Is
What?
that because I
wanted
can't?
No, you can say it.
Lara, I thought you said something completely different, and I'm disappointed in myself for that.
Okay.
Hey, yo.
me? I'm right.
So and only 100 calories. So if you're on a diet, you
Lara?
can have like 1 or 2 of these.
Do I need to take your mouse
I
again?
can't hear the bong.
You can hear the bonk.
Did you say the bong? As in
The bonk.
bing bong.
I have that one.
Bing
Oh, why
bong.
did you do that?
I love
mouse?
that guy. The Coney Island guy is like the only one I truly enjoy.
What's up, Ariana Grande? Come to Coney Island. Take a spin on the cyclone.
I'll miss you.
Do you think the Coney Island guy? Here we have the Kim and Kanye of Coney Island. Anyway, back to the Bing Bong guy. Do you think he would drink the spiked Mountain Dew?
Yes.
100%.
This dude's already probably
100%.
like downing White Claws.
That guy could be my cousin. So I'm assuming, like, listen, I think JT can vouch for this. Because him and Ant were sitting there saying that, the guy from Coney Island and Big Body Best actually Bronson's guy, who basically does a similar video, for I believe the company was Side Talk. I like, it's like, oh man, you act just like this guy. Oh yeah, I guess. Okay, so they're not wrong at times. So yeah, I
feel
think if
like-
I tried, he tried.
We would all take over Side Talk.
We
Yep.
could do Side Talk very well. The Thursday Buzz Gang.
Oh God.
It'd be wild. I mean, it's already wild. Do you see that he's doing the that like basketball league with all like the celebrity like basketball league? I forget the name of it. The crew league.
Celebrity Big
Crew
Brother.
league.
Oh,
No, there's
I'm
like
just kidding.
This
like
season's
Jack
kinda-
Harlow
yeah.
and a couple of like celebrities get like their friends and sometimes professional basketball players like Big Baby Davis, and they play like this like tournament every so often. They call it the Crew League, and I believe Drewski was hosting it for a little bit. I could be
Drewski
wrong.
hosts everything. He
It
is
might have
the
been
top.
Drewski. I'm not positive, but the Coney Island guy is now hosting it, so that should be exciting because he's entertaining,
yeah,
in my personal opinion, and
Yeah.
only my personal opinion.
but yeah, he would drink the Mountain Dew.
I would like to think so.
And,
Gonna add him at Twitter to
Let's read
find
the
out.
next story.
did you
The
just
next
see the?
story.
Did you just see the next story, Alex?
Yeah.
Do you think we should go to the next story, Alex?
Yes,
Alex, did they just recruit you with the next story?
it's possible.
It's looking like the Marines are trying to capitalize on the rapid growth of anime because U.S. Marines are using anime girl posters to recruit soldiers. In a viral Twitter post, a photo of a poster with an anime girl wearing a Marine uniform was seen. The female anime character present in the poster is quite similar to Violet Evergarden from multiple anime programs. After the poster was shared, more photos popped up online, confirming that this is actually real and not an edited picture. The picture itself is based on an image dating back to World War I. The original message was made between 1914 and 1918, and it is described, quote, U.S. Marine recruiting poster showing a Marine with a rifle on patrol the docks. One Marine said, quote, I'm a Marine and I think it's awesome. It reflects the old original it was based on and still looks squared away. Plus, the Marines love Japanese stuff. We've all been in or near Japan, end quote. Ayo?
Coming for the history major, I don't know about that last part.
I don't know either.
I don't think well, in history,
I-
Japanese.
I
I'm not
don't-
gonna get into that right now. But the pictures, it's all right. I
Oh,
don't think I'll
you're
be.
looking at the picture?
Yeah, I don't think I'll be joining the Marines over this picture though.
You won't?
No,
Is it not worth it?
no.
I'm gonna look at the photo myself.
Especially right now, I don't think I'm joining any branch of military.
It's a great picture.
It's an okay picture.
I like the style.
It's okay.
I was expecting
That
something else.
I
Yeah,
know
I think
exactly
we
what
were
you're
all.
saying.
I
I
think
was
what we all.
expecting exaggeration.
It's the way
I
I
was
was literally.
expecting a
It's
lot
a clean picture.
more.
It's a solid. Like
features to be different, a lot more anime style.
Certain features to be
Bandana
exaggerated.
exaggerated.
It's the way I
exaggerated.
was about to say. I know how they could have got more members,
Yeah.
and I did not want to say it.
this
I did
picture's
Listen,
not gonna get.
I
any
think
new
it's
members.
great marketing.
It's
to
good
be
marketing.
honest.
Yeah, I just think it was poor execution, possibly.
Yeah, I feel like if they
I saw
went the other route of
anime's huge
exaggerating,
right now.
exaggerating the
Oh.
features, I feel like
Yeah, definitely
Maybe.
bigger eyeballs.
Yeah.
I definitely
Maybe
okay.
longer hair.
I'm comparing the original to like the new one, and I actually really like the design.
Okay.
It's a good
I
design.
really like for some reason.
Alex, let me see that real quick. I got a glimpse of it.
You
It's
got-
good
gotta look-
public relations.
It's great PR
Yeah.
because you know what
Yeah,
we're
it-
talking about it. Look at that. We're talking about the Marines. Look at
I'm
that.
talking about you're talking
But
about.
it's also fantastic marketing because
Anime's all the
Fantastic.
rave.
it's very true. I've been told to watch multiple animes, and have I? No,
I don't
I've
watch
watched
anime.
one.
Have you ever
do?
watched Pokemon?
Oh, that's
No.
true.
Does it
Oh.
count of watching
Huh?
anime if
I said Pokemon.
if it was
I watch Pokemon.
the Boondocks?
Yeah.
I don't
Actually, yeah.
It was inspired.
Yes.
You know?
I watched
Boondocks is
Boondocks.
heavy anime inspired. So yeah.
Okay, fair enough then. I
The
see it.
only-
Well, Pokemon too, but that's kind of a cop out.
The only anime I watched was something by Rooster Teeth, I think.
Yeah, the Ruby.
Ruby?
Yeah.
Ruby's such a good show.
I watched the first season.
Max and
then
Ruby?
just,
I
like,
was gonna
got
say Max and Ruby. Is that what we're talking about here? I love Max,
Max
and Ruby.
and Ruby.
Ruby and Max.
Ruby and Max.
I never liked Ruby in that show.
Ruby was
Max was a little brat.
No, he wasn't.
I said it.
I know
No.
the word you wanted to
Yeah,
say.
you know.
Max
Yeah.
was a good kid, and Ruby was like, "No, you can't touch that. Stop doing
She
that."
was keeping
Always
him
get-
safe as a
Speaking,
big sister should.
No, he
Speaking
was just
of
trying to
childhood-
vibe, and she was killing the vibe.
honestly, yeah.
Alex, for somebody
Speaking of
killing your vibe, is that what
childhood
happened here?
shows,
Yeah, reminds me of
have we
Max.
seen what they did to DW?
What did they
And
do to
Arthur.
DW?
What did they do to DW?
So Arthur hit his series finale after over 20 years of being on air, and they did an all grown up episode, and it shows what the Arthur gang have been up to in their older years. DW is a police officer.
What?
She has always been an op, so that is not surprising.
A what?
Oh,
She's always been an op. She's always been the opposition. She's always been a snitch. She's always been a tattletale. That one episode, she's always been annoying too. Listen, I'm gonna say something that's very controversial. This does not reflect my real life views, points.
Please
But
get the
that one
JT button
episode,
ready.
that no. I'm gonna do my best. But that one episode where like he makes the model airplane and specifically tells her, "Don't touch the airplane," and then she touches it, and then it breaks, and then she gaslights him and pretty much tells him, "Well, why would you leave it there for me to get?" And he, socks her. That one famous episode of Arthur where we get that meme from. I'm just gonna say it. She had it coming. So I knew she would have been.
She had it coming.
I feel bad, but she did. Not only did she pick it up when he expressly told her not to, when he's sitting
JC.
there agonizing over it, she says, "Well, it's your fault because you left it out." I'm like,
I hate
Hey
you all that.
JC,
yes.
would DW be an inmate in Chicago?
Oh, 100%.
But like she wouldn't have anti-lived her brother Arthur. But like would that still count?
Yeah.
I think it still counts.
Oh, I hated
I'm a little
DW.
confused, not gonna lie.
I also really dislike.
So there's a
DW.
musical called Chicago, and it is basically about
She had
women
it
anti-living their husbands.
He had it
Okay.
And
coming.
yeah,
no,
they're
that'd
all
be
in jail.
Muffy. Muffy would do that.
Yeah.
Fair.
He
I never
only
watched
had
Chicago, but I do
himself
know
to
the
blame.
history of that.
Nice.
you had
Oh,
been
okay,
there,
history major.
If you had seen it,
Big brain.
I bet you would have done
I
the
only know the
same.
starting Chicago.
That-
Chicago.
That's only because of Victoria.
Victoria.
I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it Chicago.
Chicago.
Victorious was a great show.
It was.
really was.
It really was a good show.
We need to start a ping pong team here.
A ping pong.
Yeah.
Do you not remember that episode where
Yes.
the ping pong
They
was
swindled the
You know,
school
a lot
at
of
first.
people-
swindled the school.
A lot of people feel
Yeah,
like
had a nice
Tori's
dinner.
character was
I think we should-
annoying. The only episode I felt that was in the ping pong episode. That's the only episode where I said, okay, yeah, her character's a little annoying in this
Who?
movie. Victoria Justice. Everybody said Tori was annoying.
Tori's the worst.
I don't know. I didn't feel
She's
it.
the worst.
I did not
She
feel it.
thinks she's so good at everything, and she thinks she could do nothing wrong.
That's
but
his older
she's
sister,
wrong.
right?
No, this is Tori.
That's how the
Oh,
older sister
Oh,
is
my bad.
written.
What's their sister's name? Anybody remember?
Trina.
Trina.
Okay.
There we go.
Listen,
I thought
Trina-
Tori was fine,
Tori,
but Trina
Trina.
was.
Trina's
Oh.
not. But I think Tori is the worst sister.
But the best character on that show is Andre's grandma.
Duh.
She has on YouTube, and
Undoubtedly.
so to this
I watched
day,
them.
she acts as that character.
Andre.
Robbie,
It's
I
right
stand by this
back
statement,
in-
and this is going to be my closing statement.
Mm.
Robbie Shapiro
Yep. And
will
Rex.
join the Marines because of that anime poster. And that has been the Morning Buzz
Oh,
here
geez.
at
Just
90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. Tune in tomorrow, Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
What
with
about
Gabby
Rex?
Lutz and Madi Zuniga. I will not be here, unfortunately. And I hope you guys enjoyed your starting off your day with us and hope to have a fantastic day.